Hello and welcome to MBKM Models. I'm building a round the pole pylon here. I'm not the world's greatest RC flyer, and I think some of my models after hundreds of hours of work may have a better chance flying on this than me flying them by radio control. So where do you start with round the pole? Round the pole is an analog way of flying your aircraft. It's a tried and tested method from the days before readily available radio control. I think you go back in the 60s, you had to build your own, all right? RC, they used to sell kits by a company called McGregor. All right, my dad built one. My dad built the single channel McGregor radio control. We used to have it at home, and he even built the sheet metal box as well, which he did a very good job on that. Where it is now, I don't know. It was his stuff, and what he did with it, I don't know. But I used to look at that as a kid and read the instructions and things. Okay, so back to this. This is what you call an analog, all right, okay. What you do, I mean, I'm going to take you through this step by step, all right. I made a small one, but I didn't think it was big enough. I can't find it at the moment. It's been put somewhere. It's probably in the living room. I made a smaller one, but I didn't think it was big enough. And online floating around, there's a sort of 70s handbook on how to create RTP. But I found this on a separate website, all right, this one. Now, what I did is the first move I made was to buy 2 motorcycle wheel bearings from eBay, 60 centimeters outside diameter, 30 centimeters inside diameter. What you do then, your bearings arrive, and they're covered with a couple of plastic covers. So I whip them off with a craft knife, all right? If you're sort of 14 and upwards, make sure you have an adult with you over this, because you're doing stuff that you're not supposed to do. So I whip the covers off, all right, and then you've got to degrease it. Now, aircraft industry, I used to spend a lot of time putting things in a degreaser and all that when I was apprentice. And they use this stuff called trichloroethylene in degreasing, which they call it the trike tank. Trike tank's very dangerous. If you do have one, which you probably won't do, never smoke over it because it produces phosgene gas. Not good. However, not having a trike tank here, how do you degrease your bearings? All right, because they don't run slowly, but the way the torque on the turn is going to be a lot less with a model plane than it is on a a motorbike that could go up to 1,000 cc. Although these I think are off on 125, but the torque is still far more. So how do you degrease it? Well, what I did is first off is you can see in the background there's one of those compressed air cans from Poundland. All right, so I blew a lot of it out with compressed air. I tried methylated spirits, recommended online, didn't really touch it. And then what I did was got an old bowl, filled it with washing up liquid, detergent, soaked it in there, and then re-blew it with the air, and then it cleaned it up. All right, so once you've degreased it, you then need to add WD-40. All right, now WD-40 makes it turn a little bit more freer for the torque you're going to put on it, all right? Okay, torque, I mean turning force, all right? So it makes it move a little bit freer than what it does with the original grease that's been put in a factory, all right? These are really good bearings, okay? They are really good. Now, what is your friend in making this is the common Jubilee clip, which are called pipe clips. They call them Jubilee clips in the UK. Not sure why. If you do know why, let me know in the comments below. But yeah, Jubilee clips. So your friend is the Jubilee clips. Now these clips, I've got 2 on there, and they're holding the bearings in place. And then I've got another 2 on there on the outside of the bearings, and that's for your electrical pickups. All right. What I had an issue with, searched online, local DIY, couldn't find any 30mm plastic pipe to go on the inside. All right, couldn't find that at all. yeah, I couldn't find that. I'm sorry about the noise there. That's somebody doing DIY. Couldn't find any 30mm plastic pipe. So what I did is looked up on a website how do you calculate a square that goes inside a circle. There is a website for this, and I'll leave it in the description below. All right. And what I did is bought something near that, and then I planed the corners off a little bit, and then it fitted. All right. Okay. So I'm going to take you through this, building this RTP. Obviously it stretches down to there, and I've got to put a very, very firm base on it. If I'm going to run it outside, it's going to have guy ropes on it with sort of tent pegs type arrangement. All right. But like I said, I'm doing this in between building the Envoy. I've just put some more household filler onto the Envoy center section for the wings this morning, and it may dry. The filler I'm using is household grout watered down. All right, and what happens is most of it comes off, and I use between household grout watered down, and what do you call it, tissue dope. All right. Hopefully my model won't come down with a bump and all the filler will fall out. All right. So hopefully that won't happen, but I don't think it will. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, and please come in next time, and then I'll be doing some more on this. I'm quite a fan of RTP because this creates an indoor flying experience, or in your garden. All right. Now, difference between, I did say goodbye then, but there was something else I wanted to say. Difference between tethered flying and round the pole. Tethered flying is you've got it literally is just a cord going from your wingtip to a tether on the floor. An American guy flies his aircraft radio controlled tethered, and it's quite something. Round the pole, you can actually, all your operation is analog. All right, it comes through. It's a bit like if you've had Scalextric, racing car sets. It's very similar, also similar to Model Rail. All right, so this is what we're doing, and I love having fun with these sort of vintage type builds and things. Right, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and until next time.